Welcome to Expert Talks by Kalkine TV. I'm Sage. Today's guest is Aidan Slack-Watkins from Axo Fight Club. NFTs have made a huge appearance in the art world and philanthropic circles last year, you may have noticed, raising money for many worthwhile causes. And today's guest, Axo Fight Club, combines the power of celebrity with conservationism in an impact NFT project to help raise awareness and funds for the critically endangered axolotl amphibian species. Axolotls are unusual as they reach adulthood without going through metamorphosis like other amphibians. Well, here to tell us more is Aidan Slack-Watkins, an NFT expert from Axo Fight Club. Welcome to the show, Aidan.
Hey, how's it going? Great to see you.
Yes, thank you so much for being available. Now, I understand you also run another NFT project called Divine Dragons, is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Awesome. Well, could you share the mission behind your impact project, Axo Fight Club?
Yeah, absolutely. So you mentioned a little bit about it, but really the purpose of our project is to try and help save the endangered axolotl. It's a really interesting sort of anomaly of a creature because as a pet in pet stores, it's a really widespread, widely owned animal. A lot of people own it in their households as pets. They're very popular across the world, in the millions in pet stores. However, the estimates for their wild population at this point are less than 1,000. So it's sort of this weird, I guess, it's strange that so many people are so aware of them as pets and so few people are aware that they are as endangered as they are. So the mission of our project basically is to try to bring awareness and a global community together around the axolotl.
That's so interesting that you raised that, because I was just looking into it as well. And in Australia, it says that you can buy them as pets, but we can't actually bring them in legally into the country. So it's a very interesting creature. Like, there's so many. Are they bred? Is that how they're in the millions in households?
Exactly, yeah. So the ones that are owned as pets are actually, for the most part, bred in labs. They cross them with the DNA of another salamander species to give them their pink hue, or there's different skin colors they can have as pets. But basically, the pet axolotls are not able to go back to the wild. The wild is not a suitable environment for those pet axolotls.
You know what they actually remind me of? They look a little bit like the sea monkeys that we used to see in Mad comics, like way back when.
Yeah.
So please explain what the corporate benefits for Axo Entertainment Group, who I believe is run by actors Gabriel Soto and Irina Beaver. What are the benefits to collaborate with the conservationist Dr. Luis Zambrano, please?
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a wide set of board members and co-founders, and a really amazing reach to a lot of the Latin American community. Dr. Luis Zambrano is someone we got in touch with early in the project. It's really important to us as a project that is emphasizing conservation to be able to show and prove that the funds are going to the right place, to prove that we're approaching it in the right way with the conservationist attitude in mind, and really trying to understand what we can do to help. Because, for us, what's the point of building a community around this species if we can't actually have real impact on its population and on its conservation status? And so part of that partnership is making sure we can do as much as possible for them and involve them as much as possible in what we're doing to achieve our goals.
Thank you. So what are the main advantages that NFTs bring to artists and content creators, in your opinion?
Yeah, well, I think there's a lot of benefits, right? I think largely it comes from interactivity from a community, and access to special perks and benefits by owning. So, I think saying what can NFTs do for me as a content creator maybe is the wrong way to look at it. I think a better way to approach it is what can I do for my community through NFTs? Because really it provides a higher level of quality in terms of interaction, more involvement from your community, and rewards for that involvement. And it just brings the community together in a deeper way.
That's great. Thank you for that. And how important is community building? You've just mentioned it a little bit there. Could we elaborate on the community building aspect of impact projects such as the Axo Fight Club?
Definitely. Well, I'd say it's the most important thing. Having a great community that's willing to support the cause and really believes in the direction that your project is going in. I think for any brand or any company or any conservation effort or any institution in the world, it's critical, right? And that's no different with NFTs. You need to be able to build that community around your project. You need to be able to facilitate that community and get them excited about being, in a way, partial owners of the community themselves, right? And it's sort of a virtuous cycle, right? Where it just sort of keeps building and building and building, and you get these amazing people around that want to help and be a part of it, and they can continue to contribute and benefit from that contribution. So I would say in the end, it's really all about community.
Absolutely. And I see that being a real advantage to NFTs as well, and that the interconnectivity it can bring. But sometimes, unfortunately, it's misunderstood for the shady side, the multi-level marketing schemes and things like that. Do you have any insights to share on that from your experience in NFTs?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in NFTs for 2 years. I've seen a lot of shady stuff, obviously. I think that it's really important to make sure that you're transparent about your identity, right? I mean, I'd say on a base level, that's why I'm here and showing my face, and that's something that a lot of people wouldn't do in this NFT world. The transparency of the people behind it, the transparency, again, through our partnership with LRE is a great example of this, but the transparency of what you're going to do, being able to prove it. And on the blockchain, you can prove it, right? So, there's a lot of projects that'll leave and take the money and not put it towards what they said they were going to put it towards. And on the blockchain, you can see that. But if there's no face behind it, there's no accountability. So I think that's a really, really important part of it. And I think we're also moving towards a phase in NFTs where governments are feeling more comfortable about enforcement behind shady dealings, and they're getting better at being able to track those things. Mm-hmm. And I think in a lot of ways that's a good thing, because I think it makes this entire industry and market more stable, more inviting for larger investors, and just a better environment to participate in.
Absolutely, just that ethically conscious aspect definitely will attract probably a better quality of investors and community. So with people being involved and your project being incentivized by benefits, what do people actually get from buying NFTs in the Axo Fight Club project?
Yeah, well, the goal of our entire community is to build an ecosystem around this axolotl conservation effort, and for people to be able to not only contribute money, but also ideas and time towards that conservation effort. So basically everything we're doing is trying to incentivize that participation. On a base level, through our partnership with LRE, we are able to provide owners of our NFT with access to an Adopt an Axolotl program, which we're helping create through that partnership. So basically everyone that buys an NFT will receive updates and images of a specific wild axolotl, and really get that connection in that way, consistently through in an ongoing way through that project. On top of that, we're building out metaverse experiences for our buyers to participate, and metaverse items for them to be able to claim if you do own our NFT. And those metaverse environments themselves, we've been working a lot on starting to design and put together, but they really are driven by learning about the axolotl, playing games driven by our story about our axolotl characters and more broadly about the current plight of the axolotl, and earning rewards through that process of playing and being able to use those rewards again to contribute back into the conservation effort. So our long-term goal really is just to encourage a community participation in the project, to encourage people to be excited about the axolotl and educate themselves about the axolotl, and give back as much as possible to the restoration effort.
That sounds great. I'm really seeing this edutainment sector of NFTs and blockchain really taking off, and I see there's potential for that to become big, with classrooms becoming really exciting places, with VR and becoming more tactile. Do you think your project could head into that sort of virtual reality you've mentioned the metaverse. Do you think there could be virtual reality games and AR games coming out in the future as well?
Well, Yeah, I mean, the technology stack that has evolved around all of this and the opportunities going forward are really as broad as you can imagine. I think there's infinite possibilities for where we can go. We've been having some really interesting conversations with some extremely exciting partners, which will definitely be able to enable that sort of an experience, and even actually broaden our reach with nonprofits potentially past, LRE, but still obviously funneling everything back to LRE, but sort of expanding a global reach behind the effort to help conserve the axolotls. So we have tons of exciting partnerships coming up, and absolutely the goal, I think, behind really at least what should be the goal, and I think a lot of people have spent a lot of time in NFTs, the goal behind NFTs in general is more interconnectivity and integration with as many different experiential technologies as possible. So 100%, that's part of our ongoing goal.
Absolutely. Best of luck with that. It was obviously just at the beginning stages and the sky's the limit, like you say. Thank you so much. What an inspiring discussion. Really appreciate your insights today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. Appreciate it.
And if you just joined us, we had a very interesting discussion with Aidan Slack-Watkins, an NFT expert from Axo Fight Club. Please watch the full interview at Kalkine Media's YouTube channel and keep watching for more expert talks and market insights till the next episode. Stay apprised and invest wise with Kalkine Media.